lined up. We have a tiler lined up. We have our shower enclosure lined up. That should be installed in a couple of weeks now. So we're approaching the finish line, and slow and steady wins the race. We're not trying to do a sprint, although we'd like to. A lot of the final detail work has to come together, and we're at the mercy of the tradesmen scheduling. So we have to be realistic with our expectations on how soon all those last little items will get done. So stay tuned. We're going to keep you informed on our forward progress, but we are going to hold back on some of the final details because that's going to be our reveal, and we want to have a party, have our friends and family over to see the finished product when the time is right. So until then, we're going to just feed you little bits and pieces to keep you abreast of our forward progress, and we're going to save the cherry on top for last. We had a fairly busy weekend. We did a lot of stuff around the house and in the kitchen and the bathroom to get things ready for our final electrical fit out. So that's good to go. And what we had to do was mount our mirror. And once that was in place, we measured off of that for our wall sconces. We've got receptacles cut and put in the wall that we'll mount the sconces to. This way, when the electricians come, that's all that measuring and fitting is already done, so they don't have to do it for us. We did a couple of mock-ups for positioning, and we weren't happy with how it looked out, so we changed it up a bunch of times until we got the mirror the way we wanted it. We started it off kind of in the portrait mode, where the longest part of the mirror was vertical, and that looked a little awkward because it's a big mirror, so we mounted it landscape style, so the longest end was horizontal. That looked way better. So we got that into position. We had to take into account that we had an electrical receptacle behind it that plugs in the lights that go along with the mirror, and we had a constraint on how we could place that mirror because we didn't want to put it right over the receptacle. It had to be, kind of a little above it. Got that all figured out. Once that was all set, we were able to mock up where we wanted our wall sconces, and then we cut the holes for the electrical receptacles to go into the wall, and then pull the wires through that they had already pre-wired and left just hanging in the wall. So all that's left to do there is to hook up the receptacles, and then we can mount the wall sconces on, and we'll be good to go. So that's all set. Also put in some electrical LED lights on the porch area. We have a wall switch by the refrigerator that's going to turn those on and off. So I got those mounted in the rafters so that when they come in, all they got to do is connect the wire. They won't have to play around with cutting any wood or drilling any holes or anything. So everything's ready to just hook up. So that's all set. We also mocked up the vanity on the wall with a pencil, so we know where everything was going to land, so that the mirror would have sufficient clearance above the sink and the faucet and all that. So we're good to go on all of that. And there was a bunch of other little things here and there that we had to do. Like one of the things that Steve wanted me to expose to him was the bottom of the vanity. How were the legs, if they were offset? And they are not. So that means the molding for the base has to start at a corner and end at the vanity, and then pick up again on the other side of the vanity and go to the other corner. He was thinking he could just put one board in straight across, but the vanity sits flush against the wall from the legs all the way up to the top of the sink. So he's going to have to use two pieces for that. He just wanted to make sure he had a plan for that. He also got all the rest of the moldings in the den, so the den is 100% finished. Just waiting for the next step, which would be the painter and the tiler above to do the backsplash. So he also did some handles on the cabinets. We've got a couple of handles left to put in, but for the most part, we're about 70% done with that. And I think we're looking pretty good with all that. Just a little bit of molding work and some finessing on the door adjustments, and sanding the bathroom, so that's ready for painting. We're in the home stretch. We have a couple more handles to put on the cabinetry and some minor adjustments on the doors for alignment. Steve says he does that last. And there's a little bit of touch-up paint if we dinged anything, so that'll fix up, you know, any flaws that we may have discovered. There's also a little bit more trim work to go down on the base between the coffee bar and the refrigerator, and the toe kick underneath the cabinets that needs to be put in. And there's a spacer board that has to go underneath the beam on the right hand side of the sink, kind of above the dishwasher. So there's some small detail work, but nothing is going to stop us from getting the painting done and the backsplash. So we're pretty much good to go with that. The electricians are scheduled to come as soon as possible to do the final fit out. And once that's done, then the painting will be ready to be done, because they have to cut some holes in the ceiling for the pendants. And we might need to do a little touch up on the sheetrock, depending on what they have to do to pull the wires through. They had already pre-wired them and left them up in the joists. So they just got to drill a hole and reach in there and pull them through. So that's the plan, and that's all I got for you. Have a great day. Get ready for the heat. It's coming. We're going to have some hot weather in the next few days, so please be safe and stay hydrated.